Now, one thing that you can count on, everything that I've given this pastor to give to you is my word. And it's unchangeable, and it can't lie, because God can't lie. The only thing that has to happen, you have to have enough faith in it to let that faith be anchored to your soul. What do you mean, Pastor? To your mind, your will, and your emotion. Anchor faith to what the Word of God says. Believe everything that it says. He said, I will never leave it. I will never take my hand off of you. Even though you got to go through, you're going through, I'm building you so that your faith gets stronger so you can come out and access the blessings I have for you. Do you know that if you never suffered, you couldn't experience faith? How about that? So if you've never been without and needed something and prayed for it and had faith and God showed up, in your suffering, you are inheriting all of the promises of God because your faith is getting strong on what the Word says and you believe in it. And then he says that it's anchored to your soul. How about that? that all the promises, everything I've given is anchored already in your soul. You just got to become conscious of it, and your soul is your mind, will, and emotion. See, once the Spirit gets into your mind, it controls your will and your emotion. You're not going to get bent out of shape because something goes wrong. And then he says that anchor that you have in the Spirit allows you to go into the veil. I want you to understand something. In the Old Testament, there was the most holy place, the holy place, and the most holy place. And only the bishops in there could go into the most holy place. But when Christ came in, I want y'all to watch this. He tore down that curtain, and by grace, we get to go into the veil where the presence of God dwells. So I want you to know, every time you pray, you're going into that veil. Every time you speak his word with faith, you're going into that veil. Every time you speak against sickness, against poverty, against anything that comes against you, you're going into the veil. And he said the word can't come back void. It would do everything I said, go everywhere I send it. Just as sure as the rain comes down and waters the earth, so shall my word be that comes out of my mouth. It can't come back void. It will succeed and prosper everywhere I send it. Isaiah 55:11. And watch this, brothers and sisters. No matter how much rain comes, no matter how many problems come, the word never changes. And he says this, I'm going to use everything that worked against you for your good. Boy, I think about my journey, think about the time I had to go away and how he was shaping and molding me for this very present moment that I'm in right now. He said, Pastor, you know why I allowed you to go through so many things? So you could witness my faith in your suffering was setting up a blessing. And he says, I want you to let everybody out there know if you're suffering right now, something good's coming around the corner. If you're suffering right now financially, God's going to give you a breakthrough. That breakthrough is going to take you to the next level. Look at the number of people that were homeless while they were going through the suffering to get to the blessing that God had for them because they gave them a vision. Tyler Perry's one of them. He's a good example. That went through the suffering to get to the blessing. How about that? And you go back, and let's do something biblical so we can see it. We go back and we look at Joseph. And you know, some of you said, but I didn't do anything to suffer, Pastor. Why am I suffering? I didn't do anything, but I want you to know when it rained on the just as well as the unjust. So Joseph didn't do anything, but it was necessary for him to suffer to get the foundation laid for the blessing. Hey, his brothers threw him in the pit. He was a slave, got accused of rape, got thrown into prison. But in all of that, he kept the faith. He had endurance. He believed and trusted even when he couldn't see. And he was being shaped to be second in charge of a nation. How about that? Now, what if he had given up? What he just said, I just can't do it. You know, hear people all the time, it's just too hard. I just can't do it anymore. I'm going to just give up. And we look at all the suicides that are happening because somebody saw something that looked like it was the end, but it was the beginning of something great, but they just didn't want to go through. Boy, I tell you, I was working on a house the other day for a good friend of mine, and I had to tear the ceilings out of the house. And he came in, he says, I thought you were going to fix the house. You tearing the house up. I said, son, you got to tear up something to get to where you want to go sometime. I want you to know when we start putting that house together and looking at it, he started seeing the blessing. And I thought about this message I was preaching today, that everything that happens great comes through some type of suffering. I go look at this Bible again, and I go back and look at David and being anointed king, even though kingship wasn't in the bloodline. That was just a supernatural position to be in. And then after he got his kingship, he had to go through something for 14 years to get qualified for the blessing. So I want you to know something right now, that if you're going through something, this is not just for people that are in poverty level, it's for people on a high level. Look at Hollywood. Look at all the stuff they're going through. If you're going through something, no matter what level you're on, God is using it to set a blessing up for you. This is what I want to tell you. Keep going, keep trusting, keep believing, keep speaking good things over your life, even though things are going in the wrong direction.